Right, Zlatan Ibrahimovic missed out against Chelsea back in this evening, and people are sort of making definitive statements about whether he should or shouldn't play for Man United going forwards, just based on one game. You've been taking a look at how they look with and without him. You've been critical in the past. Let's just clear this up. Are you a fan of Zlatan Ibrahimovic as a player for United?
Definitely. I mean, we just saw his goals tally then. How can you not be a fan of him? He's a different type of player. And what I haven't been in agreement with for a long time now is a lot of people saying, you know, that it's a one-man team, that if he's not playing, then where the goal's going to come from. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's a phenomenal finisher. We saw that there. We saw this. Most strikers are just try to hit the target and blast it, whereas, you know, you've got to go for corners at this level. But he also does things that can slow the game down, i.e. this, you know, a centre-forward with a killer instinct tends to pass the ball and get into the box. I'd like to see him being on the end of this chip ball into the box. And of course, if you're comparing the other player that we're sort of insinuating could be playing, Rashford, you just know where he'd be running there. So it's a very, very different team. Valencia waiting to chip the ball into that area. He's a very different proposition to Rashford. And as I say, what I disagree with is everybody saying that, oh, if Ibra's not fit, then where the goal's going to come from. He's played virtually every minute of every game. He never comes off. He's been fit all the time, which is brilliant for someone of his age. However, there are alternatives, and Rashford has shown it every time he's come in that centre-forwards role.
And he has. And when he's had the opportunities, he's delivered, hasn't he, Marcus?
Yeah, well, Marcus is a special player. He's become a really important player for the club. You know, you watch on Sunday, he's taking free kicks, he's taking corners, he's doing everything. He's a totally different player to Zlatan. As we said, he's quick, he'll run in behind defenders. And I'm not sure Zlatan's ever been that type of player. Anyway, but this is what he can do, and I think Saturday was a template for what Manchester United need in big games. Not just in the forward areas, I think in every area of the pitch. You know, there's an intensity, there was an aggression, there was a speed about it. And Marcus, you know, we pinned 3 players down just with his pace. They're so frightened of him. Louisa, Kante's trying to get back at him. He's such ability, and I think going forward, you know, we'll talk about Zlatan for next year. In the big games, you know, will United be able to press like this? Will they be able to win the ball back like this? Will they be able to get in behind like this with him playing? I don't think so, but I still think there's a place for him. He's had a great year this year, scored a lot of goals, and I still think if he's going to be in next year, there's 25-30 games for him, and probably in them games there's 15 to 20 goals in that as well.
The thing is, that's the best Manchester United have played for ages. Yeah. I mean, you could say for a couple of years.
Probably since Sir Alex.
A bit longer,
yeah, 2 or 3 years, and that's with loads of energy, loads of pace. It's what Manchester United have been forever. You know, right the way through Sir Alex, you know, the last 25 years since I've been playing against them, watching them, it's been, the one thing has been about pace. They've always had lightning pace, and Ibrahimovic is an unbelievable player, and as you say, he's carried Manchester United for parts this season. But Rashford is just a breath of fresh air. The way they closed down at the weekend was brilliant. I just hope they do more of that tonight.
Just said that the big games for United for the last 20 years, it's always been at Old Trafford about people getting to the ball, people being quick, tackling. A lot of big games I hardly ever played because I was never that type of player. I could never really get to the ball and tackle. And maybe the last 10-15 minutes was a time when someone like Michael could come on, someone like Zlatan could come on and slow the game down and keep the ball. But it was all about intensity and high pressure, winning the ball back and scoring goals.
And as we saw there, they still score when Zlatan doesn't play. I suppose the key question is, you've said that you were impressed by the way they played against Chelsea. In the big games, who would you two turn to? Ibrahimovic or Rashford?
After Sunday, it has to be Rashford. I think there may have been a doubt beforehand, but after Sunday, I think that was a template for United to go on into these big games they've got coming up and into next year as well. Like I said, I still think there's a place with Zlatan. There's so much quality with him. He's had a great season. I just think in those big games where you need energy, you know, your Chelsea's at home, your Arsenal's at home, your Man City's, I think you need to go straight. You need to go quick. Somebody can get in behind players, and Rashford can certainly do
and
that.
You've got so many different types of players in areas. And I said right at the start of them, Jose Mourinho criticised me for saying it, but Zlatan was bought. He wasn't bought for the future. He's well into his 30s. He's a bit of a stopgap to see if the likes of Rashford, if Martial, players like that can step up to the plate of being Manchester United's number 9. You have to be one of the best few strikers in the world to be a centre forward, to be the main centre forward here. So, you know, everyone talks about Griezmann or whoever's the next one that they're going to buy, but this has been perfect. Ibrahimovic playing, Rashford coming, and let's see over the next few months, maybe throughout next season as well. And if he does really well, then there you go. It's a perfect transition. If not, then they might have to buy someone.